right. Good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock, and I'll call the 15th regular Common Council meeting to order. Will the clerk state the quote of the evening?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In union, there is strength.
Thank you. Will the clerk call the roll?
Alderperson Ackley.
Excused?
Alderperson Decker.
Here.
Alderperson Feldy.
Present.
Alderperson Filicki-Pineski. Here. Alderperson Heidemann. Here. Alderperson Mitchell. Here. Alderperson Perella. Here. Alderperson Ramey.
Here.
Alderperson Rust.
Excused?
Alderperson Salazar. Here. There are 8 present.
Thank you. And tonight, before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Cub Scout Pack 3801 and 3804. So if the Cub Scouts want to come up here and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and once they get settled in, we'll all stand up. And if the parents want to come and take pictures, you know. All right, everyone can please stand.
Guys,
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much for coming in. All right. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the minutes from the 14th regular council meeting held on October 16th, 2023, and the 3rd special council meeting held on October 23rd, 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Items for discussion on the minutes. Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of the minutes, state aye.
Aye.
Any objection? All right, minutes are approved. City Attorney, confirmation of mayor's appointments.
So there are 2 appointments. The mayor hereby submits the following appointments for your confirmation. Melissa Parra to be considered for appointment to the Mayor's International Committee, and Aubrey Lockwood to be considered for appointment to the Mayor's International Committee.
Thank you, Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to confirm.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on confirmation? Seeing none, all those in favor, this is a roll call vote.
Alder Feldy.
I vote aye.
Thank you. And so we have 7 ayes. Alder Filicki-Pineski has stepped out for a
All
minute.
right, then that's approved. City Clerk, anyone for public forum tonight?
No one this evening.
All right, then we will jump into all right. I always love it when there's an audience at a common council meeting. So thank you, everybody, for coming out this evening. First and foremost, since this is not a special city council meeting, this is a regular common council meeting, I'd first like to welcome our new city administrator to his first official city council meeting, Casey Bradley. So this is his first day of the 3rd week. So just drinking from that fire hose. So we're really excited to have him here, and just been diving in head first, working with a lot of the staff and department heads as well as council members as well. So Baptism by fire for sure here, but we're excited to have him. So welcome, Casey. Okay, just a few general announcements as well. So leaf collection is still ongoing throughout the city of Sheboygan and will be going on until November 15th. So we do ask constituents that you please do not include yard waste, sticks, grass clippings into the leaf collection as well. It messes with the machinery, so please just leaves for leaf collection. As well. So DPW today announced that they'll be doing some traffic signal upgrades on Kohler Memorial Drive and Erie Avenue starting tomorrow. The work should be hopefully done by November 10th, but while these construction practices or construction work are underway, all these intersections will become four-way stop signs during the duration of the project as well. So please be mindful when you're driving west on Erie and Kohler Memorial Drive. Also, HeyGov is now live. So this is a program working with the clerk's office and our IT department and several other departments, including DPW, for streamlining our services and how we provide and issue permits and licenses throughout the city. So this process is a lot quicker and can be done in a matter of minutes and can all be done and paid by credit card online. So more information can be found out on the city's website as well. Also, if you've been driving around town, you've probably noticed some white fire hydrants. So that is just primer. We're priming the paint for the fire hydrants. They're not staying white. So please bear with us as we put a new fresh fresh coat of paint on our fire hydrants throughout the town. So with that, we do have one proclamation that we'll be issuing tonight. So we have Abby and Emily here from the Housing Coalition. So come on up. Okay, and Braden's coming up too. Perfect. Do you guys want to say a few words? Okay. Okay, so November is Homelessness Awareness Month. So the Housing Coalition is definitely a nonprofit partner that includes over 70 agencies throughout Sheboygan County that collaborates, works diligently, identifies gaps in services in terms of how we can support those that are unhoused throughout the Sheboygan County area. So I'm going to read some of these whereases. Whereas homelessness is a challenging and pressing issue that impacts individuals and families throughout the city of Sheboygan, and it is our responsibility as a community to address these issues with empathy and determination. And whereas homelessness is not only defined by the absence of a place where one lives, but is also a reflection of the complex social, economic, and systematic factors that require our collective attention and action. Whereas the month of November, we recognize Homelessness Awareness Month, a time where our community comes together to increase awareness about homelessness, its root causes, and the vital need for supportive services and housing solutions. Whereas the city of Sheboygan is committed to combating homelessness through collaboration with local shelters, service providers, advocates, concerned citizens who work tirelessly every day to alleviate the challenges that are experiencing homelessness. And during Homelessness Awareness Months, we reiterate our commitment to the ending of homelessness in the city of Sheboygan and ensuring every resident has access to safe and stable and affordable housing. Now, whereas I, Ryan Sorensen, by the virtue vested in the authority as me as the mayor of the city, do hereby proclaim November as Homelessness Awareness Month. So thank you to the Housing Coalition in your collaborative work and providing services, identifying gaps, providing funding for transportation needs, and addressing the concerns throughout the Sheboygan County. So thank you. See a picture here. Emily?
Oh, sure. I don't know. Go ahead. Okay. You want to come too? Get over here. There's a big mic. Hi, my name is Emily Kunde. I'm the Sheboygan County Housing Coalition Chair. I've been the chair for a little bit. This is Abby Reese. She is the head of our advocacy committee. And then we have Braden over here, who is a tireless commitment to all things housing and transportation related. I just want to thank everybody who's here. We are working really hard to end homelessness and increase access to housing within Sheboygan County. Homelessness Awareness Month is in November. As you know, November is a very cold month in Wisconsin, and we have homeless people existing in our community right now, living through this. Think about the blizzard on October 31st. There were people sleeping outside when that occurred. So when we look look at this, we're working on programs like the after-hours program so that nobody has to sleep on the street overnight. We have a strong connection to the warming center, having people have a place to go when the Salvation Army is full and there's nowhere else to go. We're making sure that people have a safe place. We're parlaying that into bigger things, like solving some of the issues around housing in our community. We have a huge, actually a very low vacancy rate, meaning that there's not a lot of places for people to live. Even people with good credit, people who don't have the barriers, it's still difficult to find a safe, affordable place to live in Sheboygan County, not just the city of Sheboygan. So we're working tirelessly on this effort every single day, but Homelessness Awareness Month, you're gonna see us at the parade. So if you have winter wear and you're like, man, I've got a ton of hats, mittens, and scarves, we're gonna be in the parade, come hand it out to us there. We are also doing a hat, mitten, and scarf creation kits. So there's many places throughout Sheboygan this month where you're gonna find yarn and knitting tools and crocheting tools, which I'm gonna be honest, we have no idea how those work. We hope you do. There is an opportunity to donate $5 to the After Hours program to help people not stay on the street overnight. That's what we're asking for in order to grab a kit. You can return the kits to pay it forward. You can return the kits during the parade. And we're really excited. We're doing all sorts of other things this month. Look for our statistics on our Facebook page. Every day there's new information on the Sheboygan County Housing Coalition Facebook page. So Abby, is there anything that you'd like to share?
Yeah, sure. So as Emily said, my name is, let me move this down a little bit shorter. My name is Abby Reese. I've been on the Housing Coalition, like 6 or 7 years at this point. And I just wanted to thank the city of Sheboygan for working so well with us. I serve 4 different counties, and the county of Sheboygan and the city of Sheboygan, they're probably the most present and the most collaborative city in all of 4 counties and all of the cities that I work in. So Emily had mentioned the After Hours program. The City of Sheboygan Police Department takes a really big role in that and putting people into hotels when they're outside in the middle of the night. So I just wanted to let everybody know how much I appreciate you.
Good over there? Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it. And just a final comment, I know everyone's not just here for mayoral announcements. No laugh, tough crowd tonight. But so obviously we have one of the more keynote items on our agenda today will be the capital improvements budget as well as the operations budget for the city of Sheboygan. So I just want to use this time to thank the diligent work and the questions council members have been asking throughout this process, staff, supervisors, department head across the city for stepping up, working hard on their budget, getting creative in terms of how we can provide excellent service to the citizens of Sheboygan. And also major shout out to the coordinator of chaos, the champion of accounting, the numbers wizard is our illustrious finance director, Caitlin Krieger, who's been tremendous. For the budget. So I know that we'll have some questions later tonight as well. So thank you all. Okay. First item on the, well, not the first, but next item on the agenda is setting the rules scheduled for the hearing this evening, including such things limiting to the length of time given to the speaker. So just reiterating the rules for the public hearing tonight. So folks are here to talk on the budget. We ask that, sorry, reading my notes, that we ask that you keep your comments, please state your name, address, and please keep your comments to 3 minutes. So with that, Alder Decker, item number 8.
So I
Move to open the hearing, is correct?
I move to open the hearing.
Second? Moved and seconded. All those in favor of opening the hearings scheduled to 3-2324 pursuant to Chapter 65.9 on the laws of Wisconsin and notice published. There is a scheduled hearing for this evening for the annual budget. Any taxpayer or resident of the government unit will have the opportunity to be heard on the 2024 proposed budget. So it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any objection? The hearing is open. Is there anyone wishing to be heard? All right, come on up to this podium. Yep.
Hi, my name is Kathy Backey. I am a page at the Mead Library, and I'm here with some of my coworkers. We are very thankful when...
We need an address too.
Oh, sorry, 1521 Ohio Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay. We are very thankful when we were part of the across-the-board increase to $15 an hour last year. We were quite shocked and disappointed this year when we were told we wouldn't be getting a cost of living raise. Not only that, but for those of us who have been working there for less than 5 years, it could be 8 to 10 years before getting a raise. In looking at several sites that research living wages in Wisconsin, the living wage is listed as $15.26 low and as high as $16.06. Why are the three departments, the library pages, the library cleaners, and the crossing guards, being discriminated against? Please help us understand this. About 40% of us are under the age of 35. Several have worked at the library less than 5 years. Who would want to keep working somewhere that doesn't compensate people fairly and show appreciation for their hard work? Who would want to start a job where they won't get any kind of raise for 8 to 10 years? How did this happen? Was this an oversight, or worse, was it known and that this would happen and nothing was done to address it? In any case, it needs to be remedied, or some very capable and hardworking people will look for work elsewhere. There are plenty of jobs available in the area where people can start at $15 an hour and are eligible and given yearly raises. Once a decision is reached, we would appreciate if someone from HR could have a meeting with us to discuss the new wage scale and so we can better understand it. Thanks for listening and looking into this for us.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Anyone else? I was waiting for you, Jim. Name and address, please.
My name is Jim Van Akron. My address is 432 Lincoln Avenue, excuse me, in Sheboygan. I am the chairperson of the Sheboygan, the Sustainable Sheboygan Task Force. My comment about the budget is not so much on what you approve as how you implement the budget. As you will see on your agenda this evening, but an example of one of the things that we can do as a city is that, you know, this year in this year's budget, the cost of oil and gasoline is $1,249,360. If we transition to electric vehicles, we could save probably 60% of those costs with electric vehicles. So in your process over the next year, and in the budgeting process for the next year, 2025, we need to take these into consideration. So I'm encouraging you, as in your committees, when it comes to spending this money, that you will look at these sorts of things that can make this city much more sustainable now and into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Braden?
Braden Schmidt, 2118 North 3rd Street. I just wanted to speak in favor of the inclusion of money for the update of the comprehensive plan and the zoning code. As we talked about the number of different factors that go into homelessness and housing, our zoning code is a huge part of that in terms of the structural factors that go into creating more housing. And there was also just recently a bipartisan legislation passed at the state level that includes over $500 million in tax credits, which are only available to cities that have made updated changes to their comprehensive plan and made their zoning code certain changes that allow it to be easier to build. There are a few line items in there that they specifically call out, but in that, it is a requirement that you have updated your zoning code after January 1st of 2023. So including that in the budget will be fantastic to get that done sooner rather than later, so we can start that work and be able to get those funds as well.
Thank you, Braden. Just a quick clerical thing for our city clerk as she's diligently taking notes. Can you say your address?
2118 North 3rd Street.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Anyone else wishing to be heard? Last call. Anyone wishing to be heard? Seeing no more, Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to close the hearing.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of closing the hearing, state aye.
Aye.
Any objection? All right, the hearing is closed for this evening. Thank you, everyone. All right, next we'll go to the items under the consent agenda. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to receive and file all ROs, receive all RCs, and adopt all resolutions and ordinances.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on any of the items in the consent agenda? Alder Flicky-Pineski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am looking at number 12, about the one-way streets off of Indiana. And I am remembering some time ago, we suspended the rules to make them one-way. Does this RO keep it that way permanently? And second, do the neighbors want it that way?
I guess first I'll call Director Beeble.
Sure, this is actually reversing that. Now that the construction is nearing completion, we're going to have the streets go back to their original one-way designation because it's no longer needed because of the construction and detour that was necessary.
So they used to be one-way and you made them two-way during construction and now they're going back to one-way?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other items for discussion on the consent agenda? Alder Flicky-Pineski?
Thank you. It wasn't, it was report of
Okay,
officer.
thank
Sorry.
you. Okay, seeing no more cues, the clerk will call the roll. Do the roll call, yeah, on Unicode. I'm sorry.
8 ayes.
All right, those items are approved. Next is report. Next, are we good? Okay. Next is report of officers, item 17, RO number 622324, submitted by the Sustainability Task Force. Submitting the Sustainable Sheboygan Vision Statement, the task force requests that this be reviewed and adopted by the Common Council as a guide for the creation and implementation of a sustainable action plan to ensure a sustainable future for Sheboygan. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to accept and file.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, this is a voice vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that's approved. Item 18, RO number 682324 by the Sheboygan Transit Commission, to whom was met on October 30th, 2023, and discussed the commercial offer to purchase of Lot 3 by Trinity Lutheran Church and School dated October 13th, 2023 for the aforementioned amount. Alder Decker.
I move to accept and file.
Moved in second. Any discussion on this item? Alder Flicky-Pineski?
Thank you. I noticed that there were two other items regarding that particular issue on our agenda. And I have the advantage of having asked the city attorney this before, but could he repeat the information that he talked to me about?
I can. So
Thank you.
this particular document is a report of officer from the Transit Commission, just simply indicating that they voted to accept the offer to purchase and recommending that you do the same. There is a document later in the agenda in which the purchase and sale agreement will come before you, and that document will be referred to committee. At least that's the plan. There is also a document that will be in front of you that, as part of the sale of that particular property, there is an alley that goes through there, and we are vacating that alley. Currently, that alley, because it's on city property, both sides is owned by the city, so it would just revert back to the city or to the transit authority. And so then when the sale goes through, there won't be an alley through it. That matter is going to lie over because there needs to be a hearing on that, and that will happen in the coming weeks.
Follow-up question, Alder Flicky-Pineski?
Thank you. So as we vote to file these,
we aren't okaying that whole process. We are just pushing it down the road.
Right. You're simply receiving the recommendation from the Transit Commission that you approve it, but that's all you're doing is you're receiving it. Any action will take place at a later date.
Thank you.
Alder Perla.
Yeah, you may have answered this question already, but because we were made aware that it doesn't seem that there has been still an agreement between the two parties that was somewhat conditional to the implementation of this agreement. So you are saying that this agreement will not be implemented, it will come back to the council before being effective and implemented.
Yeah, so I'll divide my answer to you in two parts because you added another sort of level to it. But yes, the answer is you're not actually voting tonight on the purchase and sale agreement. That will happen at a later date. Now, you did mention that there are two parties that are involved in sort of discussions over the use of the lot. We're selling to one of those parties, but there is a contingency in our offer that says in order for that offer to be complete and for the sale to go through, there must be an agreement between those parties. Even if you were to approve the offer to purchase tonight, that contingency, which you're not going to do, but that contingency would not have been met, and so the sale still would not go through. So let's say 2 weeks from now, you do approve the offer to purchase, but the parties that are sort of engaged in that discussion have not come to an agreement yet. The sale would not happen. You would have approved an offer to purchase that only allows the sale to go through should all the contingencies been met. And that contingency will still need to be met in order for the sale to happen.
I have a brief follow-up question, Mr. Bev. Yep. So the result of those contingencies will be reflected in the agreement? In other words, the agreement between the parties, which has to be conditional, which is necessary for the agreement to be implemented, would that be, that agreement will be reflected somewhere and or in the agreement itself?
So the purchase and sale agreement has a contingency in it which says that the sale will only go through once the parties, the church/school and the Weil Center, have a signed agreement about the use of the lot. We as the city, in selling the property, we're not telling those parties, this is what your agreement shall be. We're allowing them to, on their own, determine what that agreement shall be, merely saying that we will not complete the sale until such time as you have come to an agreement. So that agreement will be between them, but it will need to be provided to us in order for us to see that there is actually an agreement before the sale can take place.
Very good. Thank you for clarifying.
Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, this is a voice vote. All those in favor state aye. Aye. Any objection? Great, that item is approved. Item number 19 will lay over. Items 20 through 24 will be referred to their respective committee. Now we'll jump to resolutions. Item number 25, resolution number 892324 by Alderpersons Mitchell and Decker declaring an intent to vacate and discontinue a public way pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 66.1003. Alder Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. I ask to suspend the rules.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, please proceed with your motion.
I move to adopt the resolution.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? Seeing no cues, this is a roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
That's approved. Next, resolution number 942324 by Alderpersons Decker and Rust authorizing the appropriate city officials to enter into a contract with TRC Environmental Corporation for geotechnical investigation services for the portion of the South Point Enterprise Campus at the southwest corner of Stall Road and South Taylor Drive. Alder Decker.
I ask to suspend.
Any objections? Seeing none, Alder Decker, please proceed with your motion.
I move to adopt the resolution.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Eight ayes.
That item is approved. Items 27 through 32 will be referred to the respective committees. Next will be reports of committees. Item 33, RC number 119-2324 by the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred RO number 51-2324 by City Plan Commission, to whom was referred direct referral number 45-2324 by the Finance Director, submitting the capital improvements program request for the years 2024 through 2028. Alder Mitchell.
I move to file the RO and adopt the attached amended capital improvements program.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Seven ayes, one no.
That item is approved. Next is item RC number 118-2324 by the Committee of the Whole, to whom is referred resolution number 73-2324 by Alderpersons Mitchell and Flicky-Pineski, establishing the 2024 budget appropriations and the 2023 tax levy use for during the calendar year. Alder Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to receive the RC and adopt the substitute resolution.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? Alder Heidemann.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion for a budget amendment to remove the funding for the change of the part-time assistant city attorney to full-time and utilizing the savings, decrease the amount of the fund balance usage for 2024.
All right, there's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? All right, seeing none on this amendment, do we need a roll call vote for amendment?
No.
Okay, this will be a roll call vote. Okay.
One aye, seven noes.
All right, that amendment fails. Back to the main motion. Any discussion? Alder Heidemann.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. A motion to amend the 2024 budget to include bus vouchers to assist the homeless individuals in getting into programs that they can be offered for help.
Can you restate the motion?
I would like to include money for, $20,000 for bus vouchers to assist the homeless individuals in getting to programs that can help them.
Can you clarify where that money is coming from?
Okay, increase, I have a budget number 101141-531100, City Administrator Contracted Services, and increase 101-499999, General Fund Equity Applied.
Okay. There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item?
Mayor?
Alder Feldy?
Yes, I have concern about that. I mean, not giving the homeless the money, but we're opening a can of worms for all of the charitable organizations in Sheboygan. I mean, you can't pick and choose, and I am not going to vote for that. Sorry.
All right, thank you for those comments. Alder Salzar.
So I have some questions. How is this, so are we as the city implementing it, or we're giving funds to an additional, you listed off a bunch of numbers, but I actually don't know what they go to. So could I get some clarification on the numbers? And the question of where the money is going?
Alder Heidemann, do you want to speak on your motion?
Pardon me?
Do you want to speak on your motion?
Sure. The problem that we have in our community, and homeless is a problem, okay? And one of their big problems is transportation. Okay, so if you go if you're at the Salvation Army and you're leaving, one of the first places they want to send you is a public library. Is that the place we're supposed to be taking care of our homeless? Wouldn't it be better off to be able to offer these individuals a bus token, a pathway to get to a facility that will actually help them, as opposed to having them walk around the city, not knowing where they're going to go, and then taking a residency wherever they want to. This program is meant to help the homeless. They will not be, and I would stipulate that the vouchers are not going to be given to them to travel around the city. The vouchers would be given to them and they would be instructed that they have to go to Pay It Forward, Open Door, a program that is going to actually help them as opposed to them spending time at Mead Public Library. I had a discussion with the director of the library too, and there's considerable expense to having the homeless there. So why not make an effort, especially in November, to do something for our homeless people? And this isn't a ton of money to do this, and we can have during the year monitor to see how effective it actually is. But again, they have a problem getting around. It's getting cold. Why not give them the opportunity to get a day pass or monthly pass or whatever it is to get them out of those shelters and into a place that they can receive some help?
Thank you, Alder Heidemann. Finance Director, and then Alder Perella, and then Alder Flicky-Paneski.
Oh.
Thank you. Just regarding the account question, the accounts provided will give the city administrator the $20,000 within his budget that can then be utilized to buy passes from Shoreline Metro and hand it out to different departments that may need them, including the library, for example. The offsetting revenue is a use of fund balance. When Alder Heidemann brought it up and said that it could be a one-year program kind of to see how it helps and assists the homeless in the community, that is why the fund balance is used for the 1 year. If it were to be a program that would want to be continued in the future, we would need to make sure it's built into the 2025 budget without that fund balance use.
Thank you, Finance Director. I know that was a question for Alder Salzar, so does she have a follow-up?
Yeah, so so you're seeing, to follow up to what Alder Heidemann is sharing, you see that we as the city would purchase these bus passes, and then we would provide these to the employees that would be able to give them out to the homeless that are within their venues or space. For example, like the Mead Public Library, or if they would come to the senior center or come to the police department, you would see the staff handing them out, and then they would have to implement directing them to exactly where they need to go, like they have to go to the programs? Is that correct, Alder Heidemann? Yes. So the staff would be in charge of implementing, letting them know that here is the pass and you must go to this program?
Currently, the vast majority of them right now are actually going to the public library.
Mm-hmm.
And I did speak to the people at Salvation Army, okay? And they said they had a program years ago where they were giving out bus passes. That program somehow, some way went away. So
We provided the funding for this program?
yes. Well,
Okay.
I shouldn't say about the previous program.
Oh,
That
okay.
might have been funded by somebody else, or it might have been funded by transit, it might have been funded by somebody. What I'm trying to do now is just get some money to make those bus passes available to people that really need them, because they have a hard time getting around. And it'll make that easier for them to get some help.
Director of Transit, do you know if that's a program that we funded?
I can't recall, that would be previous night.
Okay.
Okay, we got a few cues, so I apologize if I didn't get you in the correct order of your buzz-in. So, we got Alder Perella, Flicky Pineski, Decker, Ramey. So Alder Perella.
Yes, so in principle, of course, I would be completely in favor. However, I don't like to vote for something. This is a program. I mean, this is the implementation of this proposal would be an actual program, and I'm not in favor of approving something that I don't know how it will be implemented on the practical side. So my question is, can we revisit this, and so do we have the option of amending the budget to look specifically into this proposal from tonight? So my proposal in this case, I'm not amending this request, but I am suggesting that we postpone it and we add it as an item to discuss to clarify what are the terms of implementation of such a program.
So the short answer to your question is yes, we can put this on a future agenda item or send it to a respective committee.
Thank you.
Yep. Alder Flicky Pineski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am familiar with housing and urban development funding, and every year there is a certain dollar amount set aside for not-for-profits that the staff sits and prioritizes, and not-for-profit organizations know that the dollars are available. Not everybody gets funded. Not everybody gets funded to the dollar amount they would choose. But I'm going to vote against this one because I think the appropriate place for these dollars is to go into that queue and be part of that protocol that works directly with nonprofits who help folks who need help. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Flicky Pineski. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess I have a question for Derek again also. Do some of the nonprofits do this already? Is there some that do buy vouchers from transit?
Yeah, we do have quite a few organizations that do purchase. I just want to kind of say one thing and related to this. Because of fairness and because of receiving federal funding and everything related to Title VI and all that good stuff, really want to make sure we treat every organization, every demographic equally. And I know we had a conversation, Alder Heidemann and I, and it basically comes down to the fact that we really can't be giving out like free fares for this demographic because we'd be discriminating against other demographics. So it was important that there be some sort of funding source attached to it, if you will. I also did say that, we do partner with a lot of the organizations, and depending upon the volume that they do purchase from us, we've done some in-kind matches, 25, 50%, depending upon what they're purchasing. But we do have quite a few partner organizations that we work with. But we do generally require them to purchase X amount in order for us to kick in some sort of match.
Any follow-up, Alder Decker?
I guess seeing as that, I think at this particular point in time, I think it would be unwise to do it this way. I think we need to look further into this, and I will not be supporting this.
Thank you, Alder Decker. Alder Ramey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, I definitely applaud you for bringing this to light and for trying to come up with the solution. I just feel that I agree it is a program that requires a lot more fleshing out, and that I would want to see why 20,000, what research has gone into that number, how are we going to maintain this program, all of those things that kind of go into a new program. I would need to see more than that. So again, I think it's an important conversation for us to have, but I would also not be supporting that today without this supportive information.
Thank you, Alder Ramey. Director Mink, sorry.
Geez, how long have we worked together?
I know,
Mayor?
I was saying, don't say.
If I can just speak, I threw out a kind of a estimated number. So if we did monthly bus passes, for example, a year's worth is just around $600. So if you look at how many people you can help with that, I think we were estimating around 40 for year-round transportation. That was the general number that was under the purchase of $15,000 to $20,000. So if we did kick in some, as a charitable donation with that, we could do a little bit more. So rough to say, about 40 individuals.
Thank you, Director Mink. Anyone else want to speak on this amendment? All right, seeing no more cues. Oh, Alder Heineman.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, what time would you, I'm asking for some funds. And I understand that I don't have a design program and everything else. But sometimes in government, if you don't have the money, nothing gets done. Okay, so why not establish the money, have the funds there, get back, develop the program, however way you want to do it, but at the end of the day, we don't have to worry about where the money's coming from. It's in the budget. We have it. So I urge you to support this because, again, November, this is the month to do it. So I ask for your support.
Thank you, Alder Heidemann. Seeing no more cues, the clerk will call the roll on this amendment.
Alder Decker?
Nay.
Alder Felde?
Nay.
Alder Flicky Pineski? Alder Heidemann? Alder Mitchell? Alder Perella? Alder Ramey? Alder Salazar? 2 ayes, 6 noes.
All right, that amendment does not pass. Back to the motion, the main motion. Any other discussion on this item? Alder Heidemann.
Okay, I got another thing that's might fly in and it might not. So I make a motion to for a budget amendment to include the funds in the 2024 CIP for security cameras at various parks to help make sure that ordinances are being followed. Again, just so that I have the numbers here, so I can read the numbers off when you want me to, but I'm very supportive of Pet Friendly. I want this program to work, okay? No doubt about it. They've got signage. But currently, right now, we have individuals in our community that are running their dogs at Indian Mountain Park. There's a sign there, that's fine. But they're not following the ordinances. I believe by them, by installing cameras, and not just at Indian Mountain Park, but I'm talking about Maywood also, because they have concerns, because I sit on that board, where they have people that are taking their dogs, coming into Maywood. This measure and one other place was Evergreen Park, where Pet Friendly has every intention of making this an opportunity for more and more dog owners or pet owners to have their pets out in public in our parks. But again, certain people aren't following the rules. Okay, I think that in fact the number that I want is $20,000 to be put into a fund back to Pet Friendly so that we can establish these security cameras throughout our community to make sure that their programs work.
So Alder Heidemann, your motion is out of order. The previous item was already the CIP and that was already approved. So we're on the operations budget.
Oh, sorry about that, Mayor. Okay.
So, yeah. And we can get grant money for that. Any other discussion on this item? All right, seeing no more cues, please refer to your, no, the clerk will call the roll.
Thank you. Alderperson Decker.
Aye.
Alderperson Feldy.
Abstain.
Alderperson Flicky-Peneski.
We're voting
On the budget.
On the budget.
Okay, thank you. Alderperson Heidemann. Alderperson Mitchell. Alderperson Perella. Alderperson Ramey. Alderperson Salazar. Those are 7 ayes, 1 abstain.
All right, that item is approved. Next item, 35 RC number 1262324 by the Licensing Hearing and Public Safety Committee, to whom was referred resolution number 802324 by Alderperson Salazar and Feldy, modifying the ambulance service billing rate for the City of Sheboygan Fire Department. Alder Salazar.
I move to receive the RC and adopt the resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this item? All right, seeing no cues, this will be a Muni Code vote.
Thank you. Eight ayes.
That item is approved. We've exhausted the agenda for this evening. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to adjourn.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjournment, state aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned at 6:52. Thanks, everyone.